Hey, Shalom Akim. I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone for teaching His truth and for ruling well. And peace salutation to all you Akim out there pushing and defending His gospel throughout the four corners of the earth, as well as you other brothers, the believers, the helps to the prophets, and the Akwad, which are the sisters that are living faithfully in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Shalom, which means peace to you as well. This is the brother Kahan Ahlah from the GMSHAWAHI, and I'm coming through with a quick lesson, Lord willing. It'll be edifying, inspired by just a quick scenario we found ourselves in. The brother Gabar Yahweh, the head of the Hawaii camp, and myself, as we was fellowshipping with our families. We went to this place, to, like an indoor playground for the kids, and our women and our kids were playing around in the spot, and we seen these massaging chairs, and we went. You had to pay a dollar for a couple minutes, and we did so. We sat down, put a couple dollars in there. We were having spiritual conversations, and the brother's machine, the time ran out, and we kept speaking. We were having a spiritual conversation, and as we kept speaking, there was like a beeping noise, like beep beep beep, like kind of loud, but we didn't really know where it was coming from. And then one of the staff members from the place came, and she addressed the brother and said, "Oh, I'm sorry. If you're sitting there, the machine's just gonna keep on beeping the chair," which we didn't know it was a chair because it was like like an echoing sound. We thought it was from somewhere else, but nevertheless, we understood that they put this beeping device on the chair so that people don't sit down unless you're basically paying for the machine. And it's understandable. If people want to use the machine, of course we'll get up. But we actually paid a couple dollars, like to sit there for a couple minutes, and you're just relaxing, watching your kids, and nobody else was around us that was trying to use these chairs or anything. And then this happened. So the brother and I was just meditating and thinking, like, damn, Esau really is an oppressive person. Like, these are the devices, these are the type of devices that Esau invents. We always speak about how Jake, our people, the Israelites, we are the like the scriptures say, we are the former of all things, and we come up with inventions that help society, that help us in our struggle, that have made these nations great. Like the scriptures say that through us, through thy seed, all nations shall be great, roughly paraphrasing, which was told to Abraham. And why was that? Because our people were going to be amongst these nations, creating, whether that be inventions or music or cultures. It was through our people that these nations developed their so-called greatness, for most of their greatness. But nevertheless, these inventions, going back to the inventions that Esau makes, is nothing but oppressive, inventions that oppress people, man, that vex, the from the lowest spheres of society to the highest spheres of society, man. Esau is always creating tools for oppression, man, whether that be physical or psychological, man. And this right here, as you brothers see, in the title, it says hostile architecture. This is some of those inventions that include both physical um and psychological, man. And the reason I brought this up was because that chair, that beeping noise on the chair, is part of this, man. It's in a lower level, but nevertheless, it's still hostile architecture, man. And we're gonna read um the definition, or what this is all about. It says hostile architecture is an urban design strategy that uses elements of the built environment to purposefully guide or restrict behavior in order to prevent crime and protect property. And ESO always puts it out as, beneficial to those that are so-called receiving the protection, or receiving the help from these, or the aid from these designs, which are gonna be what? Property owners, businesses. you know let's keep on reading. It says, it often targets people who use or rely on public spaces more than others, such as youth and homeless, by restricting the physical behavior they can engage in. That's right. So instead of addressing the real problem, which is what? Homelessness and the youth, which, what are the youth that they're speaking about? Mostly, uh, people that do skateboarding and all these things. So what can ESO do to prevent these things? One, they could do a million things, man. But the focus is that let's not help the homeless. Let's not, get the youth out the streets by creating, schools, free schools for trades that are gonna create, uh, adults that are gonna work in an industry, whether it be electricians, carpenters, so on and so forth. Let's not focus on that, but let's just focus on how to keep these people away from our properties. Who gives a damn about them? Let's just, create some oppressive uh architectural design to keep these people away. And this is what hostile architecture is. And we're gonna show some video with some of those designs. It says, also known as defensive architecture, hostile design, unpleasant design, exclusionary design, and defensive urban design. The term hostile architecture is often associated with anti-homeless spikes, studs embedded in flat surfaces to make sleeping on them uncomfortable and impractical. Other measures include slope windowsills, windowsills to stop people sitting, benches with armrests positioned to stop people lying on them, and water sprinklers that, quote, intermediately come on but aren't really watering anything. Hostile architecture is also employed to deter skateboarding, littering, loitering, and public urination. That's right. And yeah, man, some of these things, of course, are not something that we advocate for, because, yeah, there's a place and a time for everything. You are into skateboarding, go to a skateboarding park. And again, something ESO could do is, okay, where is there an area where we're having these problems with the skateboarders? Let's create a skateboarding park. Boom. How about we take some of the budget, or some of the money that these governors are stealing, if they were a righteous, righteous judges, if they were righteous rulers, this is what they would do. Let's take some money from these politicians, from maybe the budget of that goes into the military, into weapons, and let's just, make our society where we live better. But no, this is something that ESO doesn't do. And again, he goes to what? The alternative, which is what? Let's just try to fuck these people over. Let's try to, get them uncomfortably, uh, or let's get them to not want to be here by making the spaces where they are at uncomfortable, so that they don't come here. And again, skateboarders, homeless, and all these, and you can see these images. Well, let's go back to YouTube, and real quick, before we start, this is why the whole lesson was inspired, because we spoke with the brother and we're like, damn, Esau is the devil, man. But majority of people would look at these things and say, oh well, yeah, it's a good idea, yeah, keep the homeless away, but they're not focusing on the problem. They're just, okay, let's find a quick, so-called quick solution, which to them is what, the hostile architecture. Ecclesiastes 7:7, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. And the point is in the first sentence, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. And as we were sitting there on that chair, and the beeping noise started going on, we're like, damn, man, we paying to go into a spot so that our children could play. We're spending our money there. We're spending the money on sitting on the chairs, and then as soon as the the machine stops, when the money runs out, the time which the money bought you, it starts beeping. And that's oppression, man. These are devices that Esau creates to oppress the people, man. And of course, um, business owners and people that manage these spots, they buy these type of things to what, to so-called better administer their business, man. But ultimately, what, it's a tool of oppression. And going back to the hostile, which all of this is part of it, or hostile architecture. These are some of the examples that are out in the world, man. you know you see. And a lot of these, again, a lot of these people that find themselves in these conditions, they got there through what, through the oppressive system that Esau Edom uh has created. The society Esau created was a society that basically was just gonna set everybody that's outside of the elite of Esau for failure, man. you know because majority of the masses of the people, they're where they're in the low middle class, or in low classes, man. you know and anything can trigger a situation of a catastrophic situation in people's lives, man. You could lose your job, or you could have a medical bill that's just unexpected, and you could go homeless, man. Again, a majority of the people and not just here in Babylon, but everywhere in the world, man, are a paycheck away from homelessness. They have no, basically, savings that can help them out in a situation of need. They taught us to be so-called uh basically lone wolves, and not to depend on your families, or none of these things, man. So the society Esau created is is an oppressive society, and a society that's not you know built to make everybody succeed, man. you know and this is, again, nothing but oppression, man. esau edom um Esau Edom continually, is always meditating on how to oppress the people, man. His workforce, his slaves, ultimately. Proverbs 4 and verse 16, it says, "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall." That's right, and you best believe that before these things are put out in the streets and in businesses, somebody has to, there has to be a team brainstorming on how do we stop this, or how do we, what can we come up with to stop certain things. But they don't have, again, they don't have a team to deal with the real problem, man, which is what? Homelessness, drug addictions, the lack of stimulation for the youth, you know. And that's why, because the devil is ruling over the world, man. Let's see real quick. This is here in Micah 2 verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. And this is everything and the only thing that Esau Edom does, man. They devise iniquity every single day. We just read in Proverbs that says what? That they sleep not except they cause one to fall. And they're always oppressing chiefly the nation of Israel, man. A lot of these structures that you see right here in this video, you see them where? In the ghetto, people, Esau and these heathen nations in their neighborhoods, like high-end neighborhoods, they don't have, these type of architectures. They have these places in like in urban cities where Jake is gonna be out there homeless, looking for money, looking for people to help them out or whatever, and in places where the so-called youth is out there, where in a concrete city where there's no parks, where there's no, basically a form of entertaining themselves, of letting out that energy, or doing, their sports or whatever. Why? Because they took, Esau took over the neighborhoods. They built skyscrapers, for businesses, for even for living, man. And then they just said, fuck it, fuck everybody else, But in Esau's neighborhoods, these people have, and I speak from experience, from living in New York and here in Hawaii. You go to these Edomite neighborhoods, man, and they got hockey fields, they got skating parks, they got baseball, football fields, soccer fields. But you go to where Jake is, and the mass of the people, man, and they'll barely have a park, man. One or two parks for let's say triple or quadruple the population that there is in an Edomite neighborhood, but they have a quarter of the entertainment for the youth, So again, Micah 2:1, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. That's right, man. And this is speaking about Esau, man. They have the power to do these type of things, man. They're the ones that approve of these projects. They're the ones that send teams. All right, look, we have this problem with the homeless or with the youth, with so and so. Brainstorm something and bring me back the final product that you have, so that we can approve it and allocate money for money and resources for this to be completed. They have the power to do it. Why? Because again, Job 9:24 says what? The world is given into the hand of the wicked. Now verse 2, it says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. And again, the main problem is what? That Esau created this society to benefit himself, and the rest of the people, their lands were taken away. Their people were destroyed. Everything that they had was taken, ripped out of their hands by Esau Edom. Whether it be here in America, in Europe, and anywhere, man. Anywhere Esau goes, like the scriptures say, for he is the border of wickedness. Everywhere he goes, he's gonna be oppressing people. He's gonna be, deceiving, oppressing, and lying to the people. It says, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. That's right, man. And again, the chief the people that Esau chiefly oppresses is who? The Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. You know, a lot of the people that are homeless are Jakes that went and served in the army. You know, Latinos, so-called Latinos, so-called Negroes. You know, and even amongst their people, man. You know, and then they come back from war, and then Esau just fucks them over. And now they're homeless. They trying to sleep. They're trying to get back on their feet. But you know, having gone to wars and all these things, hey, you develop mental issues, man. You know, things aren't. You know, you're not normal like the regular civilian, man. You know, and instead of again helping them out, Esau just says, "Fuck it, they're homeless. It's their fault. You know what? We don't want them around here. So let's create some oppressive devices that psychologically, that physically, first and foremost, um, physically prevent you from doing things, and then psychologically it affects these people too, man, because it's like, damn, like we don't have nowhere to go, and the places where we can find help, because there's obviously more people, they're creating these things to basically kick us out. So where are we gonna go, you know? And that shelters are filled with homeless people, you know, packed to the brim. And it's like, yo, Esau never addresses the problem. He always creates something wicked, like a quick example, like the food industry, you know. Instead of bringing out healthy foods, you know, instead of, well, first and foremost, instead of keeping the land Sabbath, which is the righteous thing to do, so that the earth gives her increase. Nah, he just says, you know what, fuck it, let's just keep tilling this land and create GMOs so that they just grow no matter what. And these GMOs are what? They're lacking minerals and vitamins. So even if you're eating so-called healthy, you still need to purchase vitamins and minerals on the side to get, you know, a healthy dose of those vitamins and minerals, man. Because why? Because Esau created GMOs that don't have these things, man. He has you eating, you know, fake food. But hey, that's the devil for you, man. So hey, just with that, Akim, I hope the lesson was edifying. Again, all praise, honor, and glory go to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Motion for teaching the truth and for ruling well. And peace, salutation to all you Akim out there pushing and defending this gospel throughout the four corners of the earth. To the brothers and the sisters as well that are helps to the prophets. Hey, shalom to you. Till next time, Lord willing, shalom.